right, welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a minute since I uploaded. I've been working on a few projects. I'll unveil those. I'm not sure when. It just depends. I really don't know, but the channel is going to change a little bit, but that's just how it goes. But yeah, so this video is going to be a review of my 2020 Diamond C Gooseneck trailer. I mean, you guys seen it before on the channel. If you're new, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, but let's get into it. All right, like I mentioned, 2020 Diamond C 40K rated Gooseneck hydraulic dovetail 12-footer. So this is gonna be a year and 3 months review. I would consider heavy use. I use it every single day almost, multiple pieces of equipment daily, and yeah, just want to show you guys how it held up. And never overloaded, because this trailer is rated at 31,400 payload. That's what it says on the sticker. And the maximum I ever had is probably 22.5 on here, maybe 23, but that's like once or twice, because the limiting factor is the truck. I have a video below because I want to check it out and be talking about it when I just got it. But yeah, it's been a pretty solid trailer. Third Gooseneck and second Diamond C Gooseneck, and I am really happy with how it actually held up compared to some other trailers that I had before. All right, well, let's start it off with the deck. It has 2-inch oak, and this is the spot that's most beat up on it right here. It's because when I'm moving backhoes or excavators, the boom sits down on there. If this was oak, this trailer would have been in way rougher condition. I mean, if it was pine, I'm sorry, it's oak. Because of that, it held up so good. I'm pretty sure I could have prevented some of the stuff, but you know, I just want to get in, get out when I'm moving equipment for people. The most visible damage, I guess, is, you know, drying, and the wood is shrinking in some areas. But I mean, pretty much for how much I used it, pretty impressive. So the biggest thing that you can see if you compare it to the new one is how much the lumber actually shrank. Like, look at all these gaps. That's pretty substantial. One of the biggest drawbacks from that is when I have, you know, if I offload a piece of equipment, you know, I've got some chains in the back and I'm dragging them down the deck, and the chain sometimes falls into these cracks and it just rips it straight out of your hand. So you got to watch it when you're dragging it down here. I have a buddy that has a similar trailer, and he, in the back, he put Apaton lumber, and it's like groove and tongue, and he runs his dozer over that all the time. I mean, amazing. It's a little thinner, but way stronger. But yeah, so the wood, from how much I use it, held up pretty well. I'm super happy with it. All right, let's talk about the paint and the metal. All right, well, obviously you could see wear and tear on it. Like I said, I used it pretty heavily. Some of these metal strips are bending. They're not perfectly straight anymore on the bottom. There's some up top, but not bad. I would say not bad. If you're like if you do grading and excavating, you move your equipment once or twice a week. I'm not gonna be responsible for any of it, but it's gonna hold up a long time based on what I see, because I use this trailer, like I said, heavily, you know, multiple times a day. And the only problems, like I said, is these are kind of bending, and you know, the paint is coming off, but that's, I mean, what do you expect? It's wear and tear on equipment. These cracked the second time, this hinge and this hinge on the passenger side. The first time they cracked was probably 6 months into ownership. Then Sam helped me out with welding, thanks man again. And then my other buddy helped me out the second time. And I don't know if you could prevent those from cracking. It's just going to be one of those things that you just write it off as a wear and tear. It's steel, it's metal, it only holds for so long. And compared to other brand trailers that I had, I think those wouldn't hold up as good based on my experience, but not bad for Diamond C. It's just one of those things that you just got to fix every time it breaks. And I mean, it only takes like an hour every 6 months. I don't think that's too bad. Unless if I had a bunch of these trailers, maybe I would take this whole thing apart, completely see if I could re-engineer something. I don't know, but it's not bad. No complaints there. Paint is really strong. It's holding up pretty well. No, I mean, not much to say about it. It's doing good. And then electrical, those 3 lights went out about the first 3 months, and then the side one, and then that side one on that side also went out, because they use these connectors, you know, I think from all the vibration of the road, they just kind of unconnect or disconnect, So what I did, I cut those off, and then I put those heat shrinks. You clamp it, put some heat on it, and they hold a lot better. And so far, for how long I've had it that way, no issues. The dovetail is working good. A couple hoses blew on the bottom. I don't really like the quality of them, and I just went to a local hydraulic shop and they made me some. Pretty expensive, but those, you could definitely tell the difference in the quality. And then the box, when it comes from factory, there's like a nut right there, and then like a star thing, and then one on the top. It kind of self-destructs, and this thing comes loose all the time. I just got to put a couple wrenches on it, tighten as much as I can. But I was talking to a buddy earlier today, and he said just, you know, put a little weld on it, because honestly, you're never going to replace that piece anyways. Like, if it destroys itself, you're just going to replace this whole unit. So I guess that's the best way of doing it, because once you adjust it perfectly, just put a tack right there in the bottom, and it's not going to get loose anymore. And then I had a few leaks inside the box, you know, leaking from these areas. You can see they're not the best, but they do for how much I use it. Replaced my battery with the Optima battery, because the original one actually cracked on the bottom. It leaked out and started melting everything. Yeah, so I'm glad I caught it. And then, would I recommend a diamond seat to anybody else? I would, based on my experience. Like I said, I didn't have every manufacturer of trailers. I had a few of them, and so far I've liked these the best. So I hope, my biggest wish is, usually what happens when a company grows, they start cutting down, you know, the quality. Hope they don't do that. Hope they just stay true the way they were from the beginning, and I think that's the way to do it. So if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll also leave my Instagram below. And axles, no problems. Suspension, no problems. The winch, doing good. I just have it out because I use it actually quite often, and it's just easier to grab it and pull it instead of having it all the way in there, because it's kind of hard to reel it out when you put it on the neutral side, because it's a 17,500 pound winch and the cable's pretty thick. So, well, there it is, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if I missed out on something, and then I could maybe reply in the comments. But thank you guys so much for watching. Like always, have a blessed day, and we'll see you on the next one.